This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Sonic the Hedgehog in 10 styles. It can't be done. But what if it could? What's going on YouTube? My name is ADCArtAttack, his name is Bob, his name is Larry, and her name is Sally. And welcome back to a brand new drawing video. So to celebrate the release of Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters, which I am super looking forward to seeing, and I haven't seen it yet, don't spoil it for me, I really want to see the movie because I'm a massive Sonic fan. Back when I was younger, can't believe I just said that, I used to love coming home and playing Sonic the Hedgehog on my Sega, in particular that game. Love that game. I don't know if you guys remember this game. Sonic Spinball was absolutely amazing and I would love for a remaster of this game. But in today's video, I'll be drawing Sonic the Hedgehog in 10 styles. Yeah, there. I want you to leave a comment down below letting me know which one of those styles you're looking forward to the most. And then at the end of the video, by the end of the video, after watching the video, don't skip, because I'll know if you skip it. Edit or add to your comment, let me know which one is your now favorite. I'm very curious to see if I meet your expectations or I change them. Now this video is very likely to be a controversial one because I'm going to be doing a little bit more than just taking, say, Bart Simpson, putting some blue hair on him and saying, yeah, there is my Simpson Sonic. Because it's not. Or is it? Does that count? If it does, this is going to be really easy. What I'm thinking to do today is put myself in the mindset of the artist that I'll be choosing today and just working as if Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't already exist. We've just got notes to go by and yeah, we have to work from those. This is gonna be bad. Oh well, that being said, I love a challenge. So yeah, let's get on with this. I hope you enjoy. Alrighty guys, so it is time to get on with drawing Sonic the Hedgehog in 10 different styles. So I figured first things first, we're going to draw Sonic the Hedgehog just normal, the normal version of Sonic, just to get his character down on the paper as a sort of guide for us, something to compare it to as we move along in the styles. And while I do this, it's also going to give me a great chance to sort of explain what it is that we're doing today in this video. So today I've chosen to use the sort of humanoid version of Sonic, as opposed to using the short, round, plump Sonic. Yeah, the classic Sonic. Now, while this classic Sonic really does hold dear to my heart, it's very nostalgic, I am working with an animal here and I've got to turn this animal into other styles. It's going to be a little bit difficult, so I figured just to sort of relieve myself a little bit here, I would use the humanoid version of Sonic. That's not to say one is better than the other, it's just going to make my life a little bit easier. And with that being said, there is Sonic the Hedgehog. He looks pretty damn good and I'm very happy with the results right there. It's going to serve for a really nice reference going forward. Now I should say this is the only version of Sonic and this is the only drawing today that I have referenced. The rest of these going forward are going to be just my own drawings because we're creating new characters. Uh-oh. And kicking things off, I figured we would start with Steamboat Willie. Now this is probably the most iconic piece of artwork on the planet. Most definitely one of the most recognizable styles. Now this particular image comes from Steamboat Willie, which was something that dated back to like the 1920s. I can't remember, but it was the earliest showing of Mickey Mouse. And I figured we would start with this because it's going to be a really nice, easy transition for me because it's kind of an easy style to work with. And going into a challenge like this, it really does help me to have a sort of easy thing to start with. A few things to keep in mind when you're attempting a style like this is you want to keep all of these shapes very rounded, very soft, and make sure that you use just the black and the white. Don't implement any shadows, any unnecessary details. Keep everything simple, keep your lines very defined. And when that's all said and done, you are left with a very nice Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie, Sonic the Hedgehog. I really like this one. I think this looks pretty cool actually. I'm really surprised. But with this one done, it's time to move on to something a little bit more advanced, and that, my friends, is Tim Burton. Now, Tim Burton has a very, very unique style of work, and it is so far removed from everything that makes Sonic the Hedgehog that this is going to be a very difficult one to create. As opposed to the Mickey Mouse style that we just did, Tim Burton's style doesn't have these rounded characters or these soft sort of edges. You're looking more for a deathly, sickly kind of look. Very skinny characters with indentations, body contortions that don't really make sense, elongated limbs. This is a really fun one to do, and unfortunately I couldn't do the iconic Sonic the Hedgehog hair. I had to work around that in the Tim Burton style, which is this really thin, stringy, wavy hair. Can't forget those eyes as well. We need those really deathly looking eyes. And can I just say, the stitching on the stomach, I actually had some really dark ideas for that. Unfortunately, because of the nature of my channel, I decided not to do it, but I was going to have tails on his stomach. patches of tails with blood. I thought it would have played very well into the Tim Burton style, but just for the nature of my channel and what I'm doing here, I figured I would leave that out. And by the end of it, I gotta say, I'm really happy with the results of this. I think the colors look really fantastic. I am super happy with the results of this Tim Burton one. This is easily my favorite one so far. I really like it, and it looks like a legit character. I think that's my favorite part about this. It looks like a character that does fit in the world of Tim Burton, but at the same time, you can see Sonic the Hedgehog here. I'm not sure what you guys think, but it is time to move on to something else, and that something else is Powerpuff Girls. Really? Okay, we're gonna do Powerpuff Girls. Well, I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, while I do this one, this is a total cop-out. This is a really easy piece to do. There really isn't much creative thought that has to go into this, and I think the most difficult part was just getting the circle shape of the head. Now, while this does look like a Powerpuff Girl character, I've got to say it's a very simplistic thing, and me personally, I just don't like it. I think it's way too simplistic. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. It does look like the style, and I guess that is the point of this challenge, but it's just way too simplistic for me. So we're going to give this one a hard pass and move on to the next one. Now, this was introduced in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, I believe. I haven't seen the movie just yet, but I have seen it in the promotional material, and that is Baby Sonic. And this particular image of Baby Sonic I'm doing right here isn't referenced, however, it is a piece of artwork that I'm working on for my second channel, ADCArtAttack 2. And if you are interested in subscribing to that, I'll put a link in the description down below. But this character model is something that I've created, and I just brought it into this one because I figured it would work really well in this style switch. Creating these baby styles really is quite a simple thing to do. You just have to scale everything down and make sure to apply a little bit of chubbiness around the stomach and the legs, as well as making sure that the fur shows through. You see, if we look back at the first Sonic that we did, he's very smooth, he's very clean, he's very refined. But if we go back to the baby Sonic, as we're coloring this one, we're making sure to just show those fibers, that fur, very subtly. I don't want to lose the style that I'm going for here, but just those minor things really helps to bring out that baby style. And when all said and done, I think we might actually have a new favorite here. This is so adorable. I really like this one. I mean, it looks like a legit character. I love that I actually went with adding the ring as a sort of, you know, I wanted to implement the rings, and I figured having it as a baby toy, it's kind of cute and it works in there. Right, this is definitely going to be the most controversial one. So you need to hear me out here, guys. Please hear me out, please. So I'm going to start by saying that this is a Dragon Ball style. This is not Dragon Ball Z, this is not Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball Super. This is Dragon Ball, just Dragon Ball. Well, firstly, if we take a look back at the previous works of Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, whenever he works with animals in his traditional style, he makes sure that they are humanoids, that they look like people, but at the same time, they very much resemble animals. That's something I wanted to keep here, and I wanted to stay true to. Now, this wasn't actually my first attempt at doing this. I did do one that I had shared with everyone on Twitter, and on second viewing, I decided to myself, we're probably going to need to add those hair spikes in. Now, while I don't believe that the hair spikes are what Akira Toriyama would have added to the design had he been working with just a hedgehog, he probably would have kept it looking like a hedgehog. He would have had the head spikes, but not the Sonic the Hedgehog spikes. But just to be able to draw a parallel between Sonic the Hedgehog and a Dragon Ball style, I put the head spikes in. Overall, I really like this one. I think the results of this one came out really nice, and whether you agree or disagree, I hope we can all agree that it does look like a legit character. Whether it looks like a Sonic the Hedgehog rendition or not is up for debate. It's entirely your opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but I really do like the way this one looks. I think it looks like a legit character, and perhaps something we could work with more in the future. Now, this one you knew was going to come up. This is the Simpsons style, and the Simpsons style is pretty recognizable. However, once again, I didn't want to implement, because it's very easy to just grab a Bart Simpson or a Homer Simpson and apply some attributes of Sonic the Hedgehog onto them. I decided, let's have a look at the styles, let's review the styles and see what they do when they get an animal character. So I had a look at Itchy and Scratchy, I had a look at Poochie, and you can see that they keep these animal features very prominent, but they also have that sort of Simpsons style with the very stubby bodies, soft edges, round thick arms. And I wanted to do something like that. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog has actually appeared in The Simpsons a couple of times, though he looked really weird.
Naturally, these were the parody examples of them doing it. I guess if they were going to do it seriously, they would have done it a little bit more akin to the Itchy and Scratchy style. So that's what I wanted to go for, and by the end of it, I don't like it. I do believe that when you look at it, it does look like a Simpsons style, and I think it is quite recognizable as a Simpsons style, but as a character, I think it sucks. I think this just does not work at all, and I really don't like it. So, this is South Park. Now, the South Park style, it's very hard to say. On the one hand, you could say it's a very simplistic and easy style, but on the other hand, you could say it's a genius style. I mean, these guys did something that is so simple yet effective. But when doing a drawing like this, it really wasn't challenging, and I didn't find much pleasure in the end result here. If anything, the character ended up looking like one of the boys from South Park dressing up as Sonic the Hedgehog for Halloween. I guess that's my own doing. I could have done it as a parody character the way that South Park would have done it, but I went this route, and perhaps it probably wasn't the best route for it. Definitely a mistake on my part. Perhaps if I ever do this again, I'll certainly think about parodying the characters. But do you know why I did something so simple just then? Because this is the big one. So everything we've done so far has been quite cartoony. Well, how about we do something from comics? Specifically DC Comics. I want something quite gritty, quite dark. This was by far the most difficult challenge and very much the most difficult one to plan. I needed to figure out a way of getting the Sonic the Hedgehog appearance without making it look quite odd. It's very difficult to create a character that is an animal into the DC universe. So I went for a more Justice League style superhero. Heavily inspired by artist Jim Lee. If you haven't seen his work, it's absolutely fantastic. But I figured let's do something similar to Batman because it's very difficult for me to remove him from Batman given that he does need those ears. There are a few things that I added that you probably won't notice at first glance, one of the big ones being the hair. I actually did put the Sonic the Hedgehog spiky hair in there, but it's just underneath the hood. I just felt that it wouldn't be possible and would look quite ridiculous had I given him the Sonic the Hedgehog over the top spikes, so I figured let's contain it within that hood, and I like it. I made sure to keep the face because I figured, look, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, it needs to be recognizable in some way, otherwise this is just going to be Batman. And I sort of outlined and left the center of the chest and the top of the abs sort of bright to showcase the chest of Sonic. In the end, really like this one. I think this one came out fantastic. I'm super happy with it. I couldn't be happier, and I don't even know what to say about it. I really like it. I think we have a winner so far, but there's still one more to go. And I think you guys knew this one was coming, so if you follow me on twitch.tv/ADCArtAttack, you can watch me do some live streams. This one was actually decided by the live stream themselves. Many people had joined and were leaving comments, and the one that won was Chibi. So during this entire drawing, people were telling me what I should do, what I should add to this character, so I'm not taking any blame for this one. But it came out super cute. It sort of reminds me of like a Baby Sonic style. It does work, it's a little bit simple, but I do like it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. The 10 styles of Sonic the Hedgehog are finished. What do you think of them? Do you like them? And I am very curious as to the question I posed at the beginning. Which one now is your favorite? Did I meet your expectations, or did I change them? Now, if you were a really cheeky person and you skipped all the way to the end, well, that's a bad person, you shouldn't do that. But if I was to ask you, looking at this, assuming you didn't watch the video, would you be able to guess the styles? Try your luck and see how you do. But with that being said, I'm about to put the names underneath them. So in 3, 2, 1, voila. Guys, I really did like this piece today. I really did enjoy doing this. It was a lot of fun to work with so many different styles. I learned so many new things about these styles. And if I had to pick a favorite of all of them, it would be quite difficult, but I think I would have to go with the DC comic version of Sonic the Hedgehog. I think it looked really gritty, and it actually looked like a kind of legit character. It's not the most polished drawing, of course. It was a very quick drawing in a small amount of time, and it was completely freestyled on the fly, but I really like it. I think a runner-up for me would be the Tim Burton style, which was... I really like this one as well. It looks creepy, but cool. And closely followed behind that, I would say the Dragon Ball one was another favorite. Well, there you have it. 10 styles of Sonic complete. And now a message from our sponsor. Whether you're just getting started or already an established brand, Squarespace is a great place for you to sell your work directly or bill for design services. The automatic image scaling of Squarespace automatically scales or fits your images to ensure they always look right, leaving you with a beautiful, professional and clean looking store or gallery. Squarespace also offers 24-hour a day, 7 days a week email customer support. And with all of their employees being within their offices, you can expect a speedy response typically within an hour.
Now, if all of this sounds like something you want, a great portfolio and a great store, head to squarespace.com right now for a free trial, and when you're ready to make your first purchase of a website or domain, Squarespace has provided us with a link that will allow you to save 10% off of your first purchase of a domain or website. That link is squarespace.com/ADCart. For convenience, this link can be found at the top of this video's description, or enter the code ADCART on their website. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you next time. Take care, bye bye.